What's up, guys? This is Crypto with James talking to you today about crypto insider trading. Make no mistake about it, this goes on every goddamn day, all the time. But it's recently been announced that one man made 1.5 million bucks by insider trading. So I want to show you exactly what happened, how he did it. And I'm not trying to teach people how to do this, but there is information out there that's worth knowing. And this is one of them. Before I get into that, I update the spreadsheet. These are the first 26 coins I spoke about on the channel. Had you invested 100 bucks into each of these when I released videos about them and you were still holding that crypto, you'd be in profit for around 12k. But if you had cashed out of each of those positions at the top of this recent cycle, you'd have been in profit for 123k. That is the difference between between banking profits in a bull cycle and holding all the way into the bear cycle. If you want to see the coins that I'm buying up right now, then come check out Copy My Crypto. It's where I share everything I'm doing. Bought up a couple of coins so far in this bear cycle. I'm planning on building multiple positions in some of the coins I'm already in and some brand new ones. If you want to see the coins that I think do those 50x's, 100x's, then come check it out. The link, guys, is in the description. So, guys, ex-Coinbase manager charged in first ever crypto insider trading case. Now, I want to be clear. Crypto insider trading has never actually been a thing. And this has happened forever. And now, because obviously crypto's under scrutiny, it is now a thing. So this former Coinbase manager and his brother and a friend were charged with wire fraud conspiracy and wire fraud in connection with the first ever crypto insider trading scheme. So the man was a product manager at Coinbase Global. So what he had was that insider knowledge. What he knew was, guess what? These coins are going to arrive on Coinbase. And this Twitter sleuth, Kobe, found an ETH address that bought hundreds of thousands of dollars of tokens exclusively featured in the Coinbase asset listing post about 24 hours before it was published. So they bought up tons of these different cryptos before it was announced they were going to be listing on Coinbase. So that insider knowledge, because everyone knows, everyone that's in crypto has seen it for the past few years, that Coinbase bounce. Because Coinbase is obviously one of the most is highly used in America. And there's some exchanges that you simply can't use in America. So it opens up the doors to these assets for a lot of people. And the trading volumes usually spike. They usually go on a 50% run or more. And this wallet found tons of them. And then they also posted Coinbase assets as part of an effort to increase transparency. We want to communicate the assets under consideration for listing in Q2. And that was the blog post looking at the assets under consideration. So after they were listed, all of these assets, in particular this one, pumped hard. So this person could have made way more than 1.5 million. In fact, the three men could have made way more than 1.5 million. Because simply put, we know how much those cryptos move. We know, we've seen it time and time again. So Ishan Wahi tipped off his brother and his friend, who then bought the digital tokens on the assumption that their value would rise once listed. And this goes on all the time. This goes on all the time. This is a guy that was, letting his brother and his mate know, that they can make some money, and obviously pushed with that. It's alleged that he misappropriated the Coinbase confidential information when he provided it to his brother and mate, so that they could snap up tokens ahead of public listing. The crypto assets that were apparently included were Tribe, XYO, ALCX, Scala, ENS, and Power. After receiving these confidential Coinbase details, they allegedly used anonymous Ethereum blockchain wallets to acquire these crypto assets before Coinbase announced anything publicly, and then off of that you can sell and make immense profit. Now, this is obviously bad and wrong. I don't think it's as bad as what happened with OpenSea. OpenSea was very different. So what OpenSea did, if anyone's not forgotten, was people that were running the site, like there was at least one fall guy, but they were buying up the NFTs and then posting the NFTs right at the front of the site so that they were more prevalent for anyone that was buying NFTs. So it was actually a manipulation of the customers. This was a few guys trying to make some money, using an unfair advantage. But these unfair advantages exist for everyone. Not to the level that he had, but they do exist. And it's worth noting, like, one thing that you can do if you're, and this isn't insider trading, this is just a fact of what you can do in terms of research, but, every crypto has a Telegram or a Discord. And quite often, in those Telegrams or in those Discords, those cryptos announce that they're going to be listed somewhere. And that announcement is then also placed somewhere else, like on Binance or like on KuCoin or like on Coinbase. But quite often, those cryptos announce slightly prior to that information landing on Coinbase or, again, Binance. And we've often seen a Binance pump as a result of a new listing. So if you are in the crypto space and you've got time and you're looking around the up-and-coming cryptos that you think they're going to be listed in the bigger exchanges soon, if you get that information from their communication channels prior to that information going out on Binance, where most people get it, you would be able to pick those coins up at a discount on Uniswap, SushiSwap, whatever it is, PancakeSwap. But then when they end up landing on your Binance or wherever, you can sell at usually a fairly significant profit. That requires a lot of time and a lot of research, but it is achievable. This person had a far, 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 far greater advantage because he was working for the team, so he knew what was coming before it was announced. But the principle still applies that can actually be done as a retail investor, but it does, like I say, it just does require time. But this is the first ever case, and it turns out FBI is reading your tweets because the FBI have obviously charged this man and his brother and friend. And Kobe obviously was the one that the Twitter sleuth Kobe was obviously the one that tweeted out. And in May, Wahi, who is the guy that did it, received an email saying that he should attend an in-person meeting as part of Coinbase investigation. In response, he booked a one-way ticket to New Delhi, India. He also called and texted his brother and friend about the investigation. He was stopped by law enforcement before he could board his plane and was found to be carrying 3 large suitcases, 7 electronic devices, 2 passports, multiple other forms of ID, hundreds of dollars in US currency, financial documents, and other personal effects. Coinbase initially made a blog post in April, probably as a follow-up to their tweet, saying that the company's goal is to create a level playing field for all new assets being created in crypto. And I like Kobe's response. So when I tweeted the insider address tweet, I had been tweeting for months about how Coinbase listings / front-running / token choices had become a huge mess. Coinbase front-running was widely known and acknowledged within CT, and now Coinbase is playing hero, catching the evil fraud. And Brian Armstrong put out a series of tweets saying that, we'd investigated and we found the person responsible, and this person responsible is being charged. Now, what does that tell us? What that tells us is a few things. Look, you're always going to have this. We've seen it we saw it with OpenSea. OpenSea I believe is far more insidious than this. I think this is not great, but I think the fact that he only made 1.5, or between him and his brother and his friend, they only made 1.5 million, shows that he was trying to keep that really under, like he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he wasn't going crazy trying to make hundreds of millions. He was, I think it was sort of get it. But with regards to the OpenSea, I thought that was really insidious because that was manipulation of all the customers that ever used the site. But what it tells you is, look, this is still prevalent. This is probably happening on all major exchanges to some degree. Because fundamentally, if the people that are working in these major exchanges can and do have knowledge that many of us don't have, aren't privy to yet. And with MetaMasks and everything else, you're going to see more of these stories coming out over the course of time. It's inevitable. But one thing that's worth noting, like I said, is some of this information is accessible to all of us. And the stuff that is accessible to all of us is the announcements of listings. And the announcements of listings happen either on Telegram, Discord, or Twitter by the cryptos or the exchanges that they're being listed on. But that information is readily accessible to everyone. And if you can get it, and if it's shared even just an hour earlier than Coinbase or Binance or any of them announce it, there is opportunities there. And that's worth bearing in mind, because there's nothing illegal there. That's shared information across the communication channels. And that's how people within this space, especially people that have got far more time, that's how some of them make seriously good returns on investment. Doesn't always lead to huge returns, but if it's the bigger places, again, your Coinbase or your Binance, does usually lead to very, very good returns. If it's Gate.io or one of the small exchanges, I wouldn't be overly I wouldn't be expecting that you're going to get a massive return, because it's not significant. But it's worth bearing in mind, because like I said, this stuff has been happening for years, but now obviously under the guise of sort of the SEC and impending regulation, this is going to be monitored far, 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 far more thoroughly. I'm sure we're going to see more stories from Binance, from KuCoin, from probably every major exchange at one point or another. We'll see something along these lines. But the public information that is shared is accessible to everyone. And the Telegram groups and the Discords are exceptionally valuable tools for all retail investors. So worth considering. But yeah, guys, here's a question. Like, what do you think about the person and the people that did this? Do you think it's do you think it's that bad? Do you think it's as bad as OpenSea? I think OpenSea's shit was way worse. Yeah, let me know in the comments down below. I'm just curious from people's perspective. Like the video and hit that bell notification. Subscribe and hit that bell notification so you know when new content's coming out. And yeah, that's it from me, guys. And if you want to see the coins I'm buying up in the bear cycle, the ones that I think can do the massive gains, the ones that I said like Phantom, where I said Phantom would do, 100x, and it ended up doing this over 670x. If you want to see the coins that I think can do those gains, make those crazy returns, set yourself up for retirement, then all you've got to do is come to Copy My Crypto. Check the link in the description. Go to the site, see the stories. And if they resonate with you, join me. If they don't, keep watching the channel, because I try and bring out content as regularly as possible. And that's it from me, guys. Take it easy. Bye-bye.